Hello students, today in our paper Organization Behavior with paper code BBAP 3305 we are going to do the topic that is Models of Organization Behavior. It is given in Unit 2 of your syllabus. I am Ragini Dikshit, working as Assistant Professor, School of Management, BBD, University. Now, contents of this presentation are introduction. Then we will do various models like autocratic, custodial, supportive, collegial and systematic models of organization behavior. We will do these models in detail. Then we will discuss about certain other models also. These are your normative, empirical, ideographic, nomethetic and ecological models. And finally we will do the conclusion. Now, coming to the introduction point, what are the models? These models are the techniques which help us to understand complex things and ideas in a clear manner. These models are the techniques which help us to understand complex things and ideas in a clear manner. In organizational behavior, these models are framework or possible explanations why people behave in a certain way. Why do people behave as they do at work? There are so many models as many are organizations. Every organization can have its own model. Varying results across the organizations are substantially caused by differences in the models of organization behavior. Now, all the models of organizational behavior are broadly classified into 5 types. These are your custodial, autocratic, supportive, collegial and systematic model. And now we are going to discuss these models beginning from autocratic model in detail. Now, the autocratic model. What are the characteristics of the autocratic model? That, as the name suggests, it is autocratic in nature. That is, the basis of this model is power managerial orientation of authority. That is, managerial orientation is on authority. Those who are in command must have the power to demand you do this or else. You are going to do this, you are going to do that. That is, who is going to define this? Manager is going to define it. The person in authority is going to define this. What work will be done by which individual? The employee in turn are oriented towards obedience and dependence on boss. What employee are supposed to do? They are supposed to obey their bosses and they are dependent on their boss orders. The employee need that is met is subsistence and the performance result is minimal. Now, what is the usefulness of this model? In case of an autocratic model, the managerial orientation is doctorial. The managerial exercise their commands over employees. He dictates the commands. The manager gives orders and the employees have to obey the orders. Thus, the employee's orientation towards managers or bosses is obedience. Now, under autocratic conditions, employees give higher performance either because of their achievement drive or their personal liking to the boss or because of some other factor. It is seen that in autocratic conditions, employees do give higher performance because of their achievement drive. It can be because of their achievement drive or because of their personal liking to the boss, or it can be because of some other factors. Acceptable approach to guide managerial behavior when there were no well-known alternatives. Then useful under some extreme conditions such as organizational crisis. Such type of model is useful under organizational crisis, and it is acceptable approach to guide managerial behavior when there is no well-known alternative available to the organization. Now, what are the weaknesses of this model? Its principal weakness is its high human cost, especially as caused by micromanagement. Micromanagement is involved in the autocratic model of the organization behavior. What is micromanagement? A natural pattern of autocratic manager is the immersion of manager into controlling the details of daily operation. Each and every step taken by the employee will be guided by the or will be watched by the manager. That is your micromanagement. A natural pattern of autocratic manager is the immersion of manager into controlling the details of daily operation. Step by step, manager is going to control your working. That is micromanagement. So it increases the human cost. Now, employees typically detest micromanager with the result being low morale, paralyzed decision on making being second guessed and high turnover. It results in what this micromanagement, it will result in low morale because they have to work according to the orders of their manager. They can't take decision themselves. Employees can't take decision themselves. That is paralyzed decision on making being second guessed, and it results in high turnover, means in number of people leaving or joining the employees or joining the organization increases. Now, the combination of emerging knowledge about the needs of the employees and ever-changing societal values and norms suggested managers to adopt alternative and better ways to manage people at work. This gave genesis to the second type of model of organization behavior. As the time, as the society changed, as the norms changed, and people they looked for some other type of model for working, and this gave birth to second type of model of organizational behavior. This is your custodial model. The basis of this model is economic resources with managerial orientation of money. That is, manager is going to provide you security of money. That is, employee in turn are oriented towards security. The employee need that is met is security in the form of money. Employee feel with reasonable containment whatever they are going, however they are working, whatever they are working, they are going to get payment for it. That is, most employees are not producing anywhere near their capacities, but they work as much as it is sufficient for gaining that much of money security or your financial security. The performance result is passive cooperation. They cooperate, but just to satisfy their economic security or their financial security. They don't take part actively. Now, usefulness. The basis of this model is partnership with a managerial orientation of teamwork. The employees in turn are oriented towards responsible behavior and self-discipline. Employees behave responsibly and they are self-disciplined. Whatever work they are given or they are employed, they do it responsibly and with self-discipline. Welfare programs to satisfy needs of employees were introduced. Provision of and for an on-site daycare center for quality child care is an example of welfare program meant for employees. Welfare programs lead to employee dependence on the organization. Stating more accurately, employees having dependence on organization may not afford to quit even there seem greener pastures around. These models they opted for providing daycare center for quality child care, and like it is included in the welfare programs. So employees getting such type of welfare programs or security satisfaction of security needs, they don't even think of leaving such organization even though they are getting much more good offer outside that organization, just because they are getting financial security, their family security, so they are more comfortable with this security. Now, coming to the weaknesses of this model. Although the custodian approach brings security and satisfaction, it suffers from certain flaws also. Employees produce anywhere near their capacities. They are also not motivated to increase their capacities of which they are capable. They just work for getting paid. Now, though the employees are satisfied, still they do not feel motivated or fulfilled in their work they do. They are not motivated by any factor. This is in conformity with their research finding that the happy employees are not necessarily most productive employees. Consequently, managers and researchers started to address yet another question: is there better approach or way to manage people? The quest for a better way provided a foundation for involvement to the supportive type of model of organization behavior. So, it proved that happy employees are not necessarily the most productive. So, how the employees can be made more productive? So, for this next model of organization behavior was proposed. Now, coming to the next model, that is the supportive model. What are the characteristics? The basis of this model is leadership with a managerial orientation of support. Managerial orientation is towards providing support. The employees in turn are oriented towards job performance and participation. What employee do? They perform job and they participate. Now, psychological result is a feeling of participation and task involvement in the organization. These psychological result for employees is that they develop the feeling of participation and task involvement. They get involved in the task of the organization. The employees' need that is met is status and recognition. They get status and recognition for the task which they perform, and this proved them for this status and recognition provide them the motivation. The performance result is awakened drive, and the result is they get more drives to perform more better. Employees' usefulness of this model is employees are strongly motivated because their status and recognition needs are better met. Thus, they have awakened drive for work. Since their status and recognition, they get the status, they get recognition, so they get drive for doing more good work. Founded on leadership, not on money or authority. In fact, it is the managerial leadership style that provides an atmosphere to help employees grow and accomplish their tasks successfully. This model provides employees to grow and to fulfill their tasks successfully with the help of managers or leaders. Managers work as leaders in this type of model. Now, the managers recognize that the workers are not by nature passive and disinterested to organizational needs, but they are made so by an inappropriate leadership style. If inappropriate leadership style is followed, the employees may become disinterested or passive in performing their work. The managers believe that giving due and appropriate changes, the workers become ready to share responsibility, develop a drive to contribute their might and improve themselves. If they are guided properly, if they are managed properly, we can develop a drive in them to improve themselves. Thus, under supportive approach, the management's orientation is to support the employee's job performance for meeting both organizational and individual goals. The management orientation is to support the employee's job performance, to support the employee in performing their job so that the individual goal as well as the organizational goal is met satisfactorily. Now, what are the weaknesses of this model? However, the supportive model of organizational behavior is found more useful and effective in developed nations and less effective in developing nations like India, because of employees more awakening in the former and less one in the later nation, means employees are more awakened in developed nation than those living in developing nations. So it is more useful in countries where in those countries which are developed. Now, coming to the next model is your collegial model. The collegial model is an extension of the supportive model. As the literal meaning of the word college means a group of persons having the common purpose, the collegial model relates to a teamwork concept. This collegial word is derived from the word college and it means working in group of persons having the common purpose. So it defines the teamwork, how people behave in a group, how they work in a group for a common purpose. The basis of this model is partnership with a managerial orientation of teamwork. Managerial orientation is towards teamwork. The basic foundation of the collegial model lies on management's building a feeling of partnership with employees. Employees should believe that they are partners in that particular organization in which they are working. Under collegial approach, employees feel needed and useful. They feel worthful. They are worth to the organization. Then they consider manager as joint contributors to organizational success rather than as bosses. The employees are oriented towards responsible behavior and self-discipline. The employees' need that is met is self-actualization. The performance result is moderate enthusiasm. The need which is satisfied over here is of self-actualization. Now, what are the usefulness of this model? Its greatest benefit is that the employee becomes self-disciplined. Feeling responsible backed by self-discipline creates a feeling of teamwork, just like what the members of a football team feel, that is we are going to win through the teamwork. The research studies report that compared to traditional management model, the more open, participative, collegial managerial approach produced improved results in situation where it is appropriate. What are the weakness of this model? That is, collegial models are so strongly normative that they tend to obscure rather than portray reality. They are more normative in nature. Then collegial approaches to decision making tend to be slow and cumbersome. It creates confusion and decision making can be slow because of the participation of employees. Now coming to your last model, that is the system model, main model. Its characteristics are: the final organizational model is referred to as the system model. In this system model, the organization looks at the overall structure and team environment and consider that individuals have different goals, talents and potentials. Different individuals have different goals, talents and potentials. It considers the structure of the organization, the environment and the individual as a different human being. The intent of the system model is to try and balance the goals of the individual with the goals of the organization. It is the intent, with what intent the system model work is, it tries to balance the goal of the individual with the goal of the organization. Individual obviously want good remuneration, job security, but also want to work in a positive work environment where the organization adds value to the community and or its customers. The system of model should be an overall partnership of managers and employees with a common goal and where everybody feels that they have a stake in the organization. Means managers and employees should work as a partners. They should have a common goal and everybody should feel that they have a stake in the organization. Employees want a work context that is ethical, infused with integrity and trust, and provide an opportunity to experience a growing sense of community among co-workers. There is a spirituality at work, the desire for employees to know their deepest selves, better to grow personally, to make a meaningful contribution to society, and to demonstrate integrity in every action taken. employee wants this, and the organization provides employees with these facilities. Managers must increasingly demonstrate a sense of caring and compassion, being sensitive to the needs of the diverse workforce. This model reflects the values underlying positive organizational behavior, where managers focus their attention on helping employees developing feeling of hope, optimism, self-confidence, empathy, trustworthiness, esteem, courage, and resiliency. So managers help the employees to develop feeling of hope, optimism, self-confidence, empathy, trustworthiness by creating a positive environment for working of employees. Now, managers at all levels need to display two key ingredients. First is that is authenticity, and second is your social intelligence. In system model, managers at all levels need to display two key ingredients. What are these two ingredients? That is authenticity, and second is social intelligence. Now, authenticity, the demonstrated ability to open themselves up to others by being transparent while walking the talk of the underlying values. Whatever they are talking, whatever they are saying, it is real. The demonstrative ability to open themselves up to others by being transparent. Whatever they are saying, they are going to perform that. They are going to do that. That is authenticity of their talk. Then social intelligence. Social intelligence, how this social intelligence is defined, it consists of 5 dimensions. That is empathy. Managers should show empathy, appreciation for and connectedness with others. They should show their presence, projecting self-worth in one's bearing. Situational radar, ability to read social situation and respond appropriately. Clarity, using language effectively to explain and pursue employees. And authenticity, that is being real and transparent while projecting honesty. So these are the two key ingredients which managers have to display. First is authenticity, they are honest, they are real and transparent. And second is your social intelligence, which can be defined by their empathy, presence, situational radar, clarity, and as well as your authenticity also. Now, facilitators' role for managers in the system model of organizational behavior. What roles managers are going to perform? They are going to support employee commitment to short and long term goals. Whatever employee commitments are for achieving their short term and long term goals, these managers are going to support those employees. Then coach, they are going to provide coaching to individuals and groups in appropriate skills and behavior. They are going to help them in developing their skills and behavior. Then models and foster self-esteem, show genuine concern and empathy for people, offer timely and acceptable feedback, help individuals identify and confront issues in ethical ways, stimulate insights through interview questions and suggestions, build cohesive productive work teams, encourage people to feel comfortable with change and uncertainty. Influence people to learn continuously and share that learning with others. So these are the roles of facilitators, roles which are going to be performed by the managers when they are adopting system model of organization behavior. Employees embrace the goal of organizational effectiveness and recognize the mutuality of company-employee obligation. In this model, employees embrace the goal of organizational effectiveness and they recognize that their goal is accompanied with the company goal. It creates a sense of psychological ownership for the organization and its product services. It creates a sense of ownership for the organization. They are going to work for the organization. This organization is their own and its product and services. Now, this is the diagram for the 5 models of OB, and these are your autocratic, custodial, supportive, collegial and system model. These can be defined on the basis of model, managerial orientation, employee orientation, employee psychological result, then what are the needs which are met, then performance result, what are the results of these models, and your examples. Now, basis of model in autocratic model type of model is PAR. Then managerial orientation is toward authority. Employee orientation is towards obedience. Employee psychological results is depends on boss. Then employee needs which are met is subsistence, consistency. Then performance result is minimum. Then examples are your defense teams. Then comes your custodial model. Here basis of model is economical resource, managerial orientation money, employee orientation security and benefit. Employee psychological result depends on organization. Employee needs which are met is security. Performance result is passive cooperation. Example can be your any garment factory. Then comes your supportive model. Basis of this model is leadership, support. Managerial orientation is to provide support. Employee orientation is to perform job and show the performance. Then employee psychological result is partnership. Employee needs which are met is status and recognition. Then performance result is awakened drives of the employees. Example it can be your software firm. Then here comes fourth model, partnership. Basis of model is partnership. Managerial orientation is towards teamwork. Employee orientation is towards responsible behaviors. Then employee psychological result is self-discipline. Employee need which is met is self-actualization. Then performance result is moderate enthusiasm. Then examples can be any of your social organizations. Then comes your system model. Here basis of model is trust, community, understanding. Managerial orientation is caring, compassion. Then employee orientation is your psychological ownership. Then employee psychological result is self-motivation. Employee needs which are met is wide range of needs which are met over here. Then performance result is passion, commitment, organizational goals. They consider their goal as combined with the organizational goals. Then examples can be your some corporate firms. Now there are some other models also which define how people can work or managers can operate in any organization. These are your normative models, empirical models, ecological models, non-ecological models, ideographic models, and nomethetic model. Now coming to first model, normative, as the name suggests, it is based on the rules. The normative model seeks to find out that what should be done to produce optimum results. The models are concerned with the determination of optimum actions, how work is to be done. Most of the management theories are comprised of the normative model, because while preparing the plans and policies, the management is more concerned with what should be done or what should not be done by the managers and the employees. What are rules which are going to be framed by the managers or the organization. That is normative models. Then empirical models. While the normative models are connected with what should be done, the empirical models describe the activities the employees actually perform. This model becomes an integral part of the organizational behavior, because organizational behavior is concerned with what is actually taking place in the organization and how do people actually behave. It is based on what is actually taking place in the organization and how people are actually behaving in any organization. Then comes your ecological model. No business enterprise can exist in a vacuum. It has to continuously interact with the environment. All the functions of the organization are affected by the environment, as the environment supplies the input which are converted by the organization into output. Through a process of feedback, output causes the emergence of new input. This interaction between the organization and environment is known as ecological interaction, and this is the crux of ecological approach or ecological models. Models which deals with the changes which take place in the environment and which understand the complexity of environment are ecological models. They consider environment. how organization has to change or how organization has to adapt according to the changing environment. Then comes your non-ecological model. As the name suggests, this model is the opposite of ecological model. Whereas the ecological model accepts that the environment is complex and changes keep on taking place, the non-ecological model, these ecological models assume stability in the environment and that everything will remain the same. These non-ecological models assume stability in the environment and they assume that everything will remain the same, nothing is going to change. This model does not help in generalizing that what will happen in future. In the modern day world, when the environmental factors are assuming a lot of importance, this model is not very useful because it does not consider changing environment. Then comes your ideographic model. The models that are developed to deal with specific cases or unique situations are called ideographic models. This model deals with situations like single nation, single organization, single group, individual biography, historical episodes, etc. When the organizational behavior is concerned with micro level analysis, this model is generally used. Then comes your nomethetic models. These models deal with general situations. These are concerned with theory building on the macro level basis, that is at the group and the organizational level. These are concerned with generalizations, laws, hypotheses, etc. Now, coming to the conclusion. Various conclusions may be drawn from the study of different models. These are: as soon as the understanding of human behavior develops or social conditions change, the model is bound to change. No one model is best for all times. Models or organizational behavior are related to hierarchy of human needs. As society advances on the need hierarchy, new models are developed to serve the higher order needs, that is paramount at that time. Present tendency towards more democratic models of organizational behavior will continue to develop for long run. Different models will remain in use through new model predominates as most appropriate for general use at any given time, as task conditions differ from time to time and organization to organization. So no one model is the best, it depends upon the situation, and as the time advances we can come up with the new models of organizational behavior which will guide the behavior of the individual as himself, in a group and the organization. So this was all about your models of organizational behavior. Thank you class.